It's time!
So I close my eyes and lose myself now. Do it like it's only a day. We got a party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. And we don't care about the bad nights. And for a second I can feel like this. Make me feel like this. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. Ask me how we got here, 'cause you don't know how. You say we're taking on water, yeah, we're sinking now. You're looking all concerned, like we're gonna drown. But we both know how to swim, no worries as we'll fall now. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. I drag you out your mind, and there are days I hate you, but baby, you're still mine. And now we have the best times, no matter what we do. And even when we don't, there's no way I'd rather choose. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. I'm on my last straw. I'm broken.
Pearls were bound together through the storm and darkest weather. We search high, we search low, together everywhere we go. Justin's here and he's going live with the best fans by my side. We're a family, we hold strong, together we can right the wrong. We clutch them pearls, we shine like stars, searching wide, spreading love afar. Every stream, every heartfelt plea, we are one in this community. Daily grind, but we're not stopping. Pearls around the world just popping. With each view and every share, we send hope and show we care. We clutch them pearls, we shine like stars, searching wide, spreading love afar. Every stream, every every heartfelt plea. We are one in this community. Daily grind, but we're not stopping. Pearls around the world just popping. With each view and every share, we send hope and show we care. We clutch them pearls, we shine like stars, searching wide, spreading love afar. Every stream, every heartfelt plea, we are one in this community. In the night or in the day, girls will light and lead the way. Just as hard and they'll support. Together we will hold the fort. Daily grind, but we're not stopping. Pearls around the world just popping. With each view and every share, we send hope and show we care.
Well, hello, everyone. Good to see you all. Thank you all so much for joining me and Remy Pearl. So good to see you all. Really do appreciate you all joining me today. Come on, girl. Come on. Good to see you all. Really, thank you all so much for joining me. Uh, Thank you, Carmelita. Thank you, my dear. Did you know the Feet did an interview with Boston Friends on March 28th? Yes, I have that. I have that. The volume's not very good on the one I have, though. Yes, Edgar, with his eyeshadow on. You go, Edgar. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Good for you, Edgar. And all that. So anyway, it's good to see you all. Remy Pearl is nearly what was it? A little over 5 pounds now. She's a little over 5 pounds now. So hers growing a lot, actually. She got a booster yesterday. So we went yesterday and had her booster done, and I don't think she was kind of feeling good after that for a little bit, but she's back on it today. She's back on it today, to say the least. I missed you guys too last night, Hobo. I really did. I had to take care of a lot yesterday, though. So I do apologize. She's 5 pounds now. Yes. Yep. Hers glowing. She's over doubled. She's over doubled. Double. So anyhow, we'll be doing a live hopefully really soon. It's back to the grind now. And since Christmas, it has been crazy. She has grown so much. Yeah, she really has. So anywho, we got a lot to talk about. Please hit that thumbs up. Would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much, Donna, for helping get us to our goal. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate you, my dear. Good to see you. Hope you are well. And thank you, Carmelita, as well, my dear. I will play that sometimes if you want me to. Forever Mickey's Mom, 4 months. Thank you so much for your continued support, Forever Mickey's Mom. Good evening, Jeff and Winnie. Thank you for all you do. Love the new song. Thank you so much, Miss Nikki. Really do appreciate you, my dear. Thank you for your support. I haven't done my intro. Today is January 14th, 2025. It is currently 6:59 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Yeah, yeah, I'll be getting another one, probably this spring, Uh, yeah, the boosters, they do. Kids, anything that, those boosters, if you've ever had any vaccines of any sort, you know, for a day or so, it might, kick you down. Danielle, happy birthday! Happy birthday! Thank you so much, my dear. Make sure we sing happy birthday to you at the end of this show and just remind me, okay, Danielle? Happy birthday. Hope it's amazing for you. Thank you so much, Joanne. Love you too, my dear. Really do appreciate you. Thank you, my dear. Really do appreciate you, my dear Joanne. Thank you for joining me on my live prior to this. Thank you, Cassie. Please check. I'm on it, Cassie. What am I doing here? Uh, yep. That's what I was planning to do, Cassie, for sure. Yep. Okay. Thank you so much. There we go. Um, no problem, Miss Tar. Okay. All right. We're going to go over some stuff in just a few moments. Margaret, thank you so much, dear. Miss Global. Justin, you are the best. Love you. And I love you, Miss Margaret. Thank you so very much. It's so good to see you. It feels like I'm not live a day. It feels like I've been gone a week at least. So it's weird, but I missed you guys so much if I'm not here. Thank you, sweet Margaret. Really do appreciate you. We are family here. That's just the way it is. Thank you so much, Stacy. I stayed behind the curtain a lot, but I love you, Justin. Thank you, Stacy. You're welcome to always join us out here. We always love seeing you. Thank you so much for 3 continued months of your support. I really, really do appreciate it, my dear, very, very much. Um, let's see here. Yeah, yeah, Teresa. Um, Jennifer Coffin Daffer did a live earlier. I mentioned this in my other live. I was just briefly speaking on uh, Sebastian, but there is a lot of uh, misinformation that I feel that is intentional being put out, and there's cases where someone may not fully understand the case and accidentally put out misinformation and then correct it later. But this is different. It feels more like people are intentionally putting out misinformation to uh, it feels more like a protection thing more than it does uh, any other thing. It's very bizarre. Uh, I love Jennifer too. Jennifer is awesome. Uh, it amazes me only on YouTube. I mean, no one is above criticism. None of us are. Certainly, we all get criticism if you're in the true crime genre. Uh, but Jennifer comes, yeah, like I started early, honey. Jennifer comes with a really, really big, um, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't even think of the word right now. Uh, I'll just say portfolio, right? She worked for the FBI. There's not a lot of credentials. That's one. That's not the word I was looking for either, but it's just I can't think of it. It's on the end of my tongue. God, I hate when that happens. It only happens when you're live. It only happens when you're live. Anyway, but and people are just because they disagree. It's one of those things. YouTube is a strange place because if you think differently in a case, particularly certain cases, um, you are you get attacked, um, and listen to the experts. Resume. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. Resume. There we go. Uh, so if you listen to all the experts, all of them except for one channel that I have seen, all of them says Edgar and KK in their opinions based upon their, you know, uh, professional work, whether that's been in the FBI, whether that's law enforcement, whether that's statement analysis, body language analysis, says, thank you, Callie, that's very nice, says something is not right here. Something is not right here. Um, oh, happy belated birthday, Linda. Happy belated birthday. Thank you so much. Hope you had a very good day yesterday. Thank you so much, Holly. Really do appreciate you, my dear. Good to see you. Means so much to me, darling. And thank you, Lisa. How you doing, darling? Love to be here with us and the Pearl family. This is my home, my happy place. Y'all are my happy place as well. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much, Lisa. Really do appreciate you, my dear. And Ginger, hey, love. Love you, Justin. Precious for me, Pearl. Snookum Wookums and Pearls. Love you too, sweet Ginger. You're very sweet. Good to see you. Thank you so much. Is Seth in here? Hey, Seth. Good to see you, brother. Hope you are well, my friend. Um, it really is. It's pretty obvious in this case, isn't it? And yet there are things that Edgar will not speak about. He will use the excuse that law enforcement has told him not to. Again, that is hogwash when it comes to why you can't speak about Sunday evening. Law enforcement has asked the public as well. If you're not there, Edgar, there should be no reason why you can't speak about it. Oh, he certainly goes around things. We're gonna talk about that in this live as well. Um, and certainly the days and weeks to when you say of specific dates you can't talk about. Well, again, how would it be for a child just randomly, supposedly walking out that a man can't speak about specific dates, but everyone else can? Seth can, Katie can, Sebastian, we know where he was as well. And let me tell you something. He's never I just bet you he's never going to put out the timesheet. He's never going to do it. He's never going to put out his uh supposed life 360. He's never going to take the polygraph from Nancy Grace. You know why? You know why? Because it's not that he can't do it. It's not that he can't do it. He certainly can. Seth did. Seth did. He won't. He won't. Because, in my opinion, it's going to make him look really bad. Really, really bad. And that right there sums it up. You can talk about everything till the day of judgment. Things that don't matter in this case. One of the biggest things in this case that we know about is the lights in the yard at 3:15 to 3:30 in the morning. 3:15 to 3:30 in the morning. Hey Tony, good to see you, brother. They were at 3:15 to 3:30 in the morning. Period. Nick Barris has stated that as well. I can show you that. It is evident, self-evident, that at 3:15 in the morning, a car goes up to the end of Kellen. I don't know how long it stays up there. It turns around. It goes on the corner of Stafford, and a person gets out. It goes to the home. That's when we see two flashlights. They do something around the vehicle. One person gets in the vehicle. The other person runs home. And this is what I say. You can try, people can try to change the narrative, but this is what I will say. History is going to eventually come out. Time reveals it. And if you are intentionally trying to put anything out that is intentionally false, then it's probably not going to judge you so well. All the time in the world to provide his alibi he has, whether we believe it or not. Seth has why. Exactly, Betty, exactly. That's exactly right. Did Green Hoodie pass? I don't know. I really don't know. I have no idea. Oh, we don't know if they found the car, or we have no idea. We have no idea. But what we do know is that they are two separate events. That happens, and then later at 5 something in the morning, there is a trash truck. So, I was live, I think when Jennifer was doing this. Let's give credit to Jennifer Coffindaffer. Jennifer is great. Let's see here. Let me give her the credit on this. Break the case with Jennifer. Oops. Did I mess it up? Bear with me, guys, 1 second. Okay, give me one second. Is it Break the Case with Jennifer Coffin? Okay, Break the Case with Jennifer Coffin for FBI. All right, guys, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up. So we can continue to get the word out there for Sebastian. Thank you so very much, The Path. Appreciate you. If you receive that membership, make sure you thank our beautiful The Path. Really do appreciate you, my dear. Thank you so very much. If you receive that, make sure you thank The Path there, my dear. Thank you so much, my friend. Bliss, thank you so much, my dear. Going closer to a goal there. People planted to be the version, in my opinion. It really does seem that way. It really does seem that way, and it's really sad. It's really sad. But I do believe at the end of this, like I've always said, we will be on the right side of history. And that is the side of Sebastian, the side to where we wasn't, tearing down a man who was at work, that has proven that he was work, that has showed, that has taken polygraphs publicly, which, listen, Edgar, KK, I know you watch. Why not do that polygraph live with all three of you? I think that's a great idea. Now, I just about bet you won't. I bet you won't. But still, nonetheless, I really think, Edgar, KK, you should take the polygraph on Nancy Grace, whatever. Edgar, you was the one that said, name the time and place. Name the time and place. Well, guess what? She did. And you backed out of it. You have literally lied since the first interview that you was taking this polygraph. Still waiting. Crickets. Anyone who seems to have questions for Edgar and KK, it's bizarre to me. It's bizarre. It's really bizarre. How do you not search for your kid? They say actions speak louder than words, but we get neither with Edgar and KK. Neither. Where the hell are you? I mean, KK goes 3.5 hours away. Let me just set a little food on the porch here. Let's just set a little food on the porch. Like, how do you leave? Like, I feed some stray cats outside. I leave food outside for the cats. But your child? What the hell's wrong with you?
True crimers, welcome to Break the Case. I'm your host. I'm Jen.
And I just want to say, regardless of how you feel about Jennifer Coffindaffer on any case, let's give her a round of applause for always remaining classy, not going in the gutter, staying away from that, always staying for the case, for the victim. She doesn't get down in the gutter. And that is so refreshing to have in true crime today. Not about the drama, not about anything else, about the case. So I respect anyone who stays on the case. If you are here for true crime, be here for true crime. If you are here about the victims, be here about the victims. Doesn't mean, you won't make mistakes or go out on a limb sometimes, whatever. But I always say majority rules, and majority is the key. I've always seen Jennifer just stay about the case. So
Coffin
mad respect
Daffer,
for that.
listen, I got my hat on. I'm getting ready to run. This has been a little bit of a crazy day, but basically I just got the last piece of information that I needed to do this live on the lights, the flashlights that were involved in the Sebastian Rogers case. For those of you new to the show, essentially there's a case involving a guy named Sebastian Rogers. He disappeared when he was 15. He is now 16. He disappeared on the 25th of February. In terms of the last sighting that we in the public were able to see, that took place at a restaurant with his mother. But on the 26th, he, according to law enforcement, that's when they said he went missing. So we believe, because they were very specific, that there must have been a sighting on the 26th that just we in the public haven't seen. On the 26th, at 3:10 in the morning, so the night of the 25th going into the 26th, there was
What do you guys think about that? Now, I know we constantly speak about, well, he must have been seen on the 26th. He must have been seen on the 26th. Now, but they also say he has not been seen on any camera. There has not been any confirmed sighting. No scent, no article of clothing, nothing. So, I mean, well, they said no confirmed sighting, so nobody. So Ken Widener says this. Authorities all say this. Now, is Laura Lodge in here? If he is, hello, Laura Lodge. Hey, Aiden, good to see you, buddy. Thank you for joining. If he's in here, so why? What does that mean? Does that mean they have? I mean, so Jennifer made a great point in this previous that well, listen, if you're wearing all white or all black on the cameras, the ring door cameras or all that, it shows up as white. I showed you guys that on a ring camera the other day. If you're wearing all black at night, if it is pitch black outside, it will still show up as white. The technology is really, really good. So anywho, there's that. Now, his video is very telling, in my opinion. Does that mean that he was seen with the two flashlights being put in the car? I don't know. But just the Amber Alert alone suggests foul play, right? That's what an Amber Alert is. You're not supposed to have this child, whether it's a parent, whether it's a step parent, whether it's an aunt, an uncle, a stranger. So there's that. But I can tell you, he did not walk out of this house on his own accord, especially out of the front door or the side doors on his own. And he couldn't have missed a camera. Couldn't have, wouldn't have. He doesn't like the dirt.
Was a flashlight video that became public through Nick Barris, who works at the local television network down in the Tennessee area. And he came forward with this flashlight video. Many of you have seen it. Certainly anybody following the case has seen it. And essentially what it shows is there's a light out in the distance, a fuzzy light, but that's not the one of importance. The one of importance is the backyard vantage, and you see two individual light sources. You see one light source that is further away from the house, one light source that is closer to the house, then it's obstructed or obscured by bushes, and then it appears to go in the same way as the other light source. Then the light source number one disappears, then light source number two disappears, and then you later see light source number two reappear. Okay, many people have looked this over. The mob crew has done an amazing job. In fact, I'm very much looking forward to joining Chris soon we're going to do a show together. We're going to be putting it together. And so I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, there is going to be an upcoming show with Jennifer and Mob Crew on a channel. I don't know if they've announced what channel yet or not. I know, but I don't want to say it unless they've mentioned it yet.
Because he's a
Unless we have
no-nonsense
something
guy. He's not about drama. He's about facts. He works his
Amen.
tail off, and he's in it for the right reasons. So I'm
Yes.
excited to
Yes.
join him. But I just need to come on here really quick and thank you, everybody. I appreciate the memberships and everybody coming on. But I got to tell you about the lights. And the reason I have to tell you, and I don't even have my normal equipment here or anything. I wasn't planning on doing a live, but I got the last piece of information I needed. So let me go over again. According to the video screen that we've all seen of the lights, this recording occurred at 3:10 in the morning on the 26th. So basically the night Sebastian went missing.
Yes. 3:10, anywhere from 3:10 to 3:30, around that time. If anybody is telling you different, they're wrong. It's just that simple. If they are telling you different, they are wrong. Just the way it is. Sharon, thank you so much. Really do appreciate you, my dear. Thank you, Jessica, for always working hard. Thank you, and God bless. Thank you, my dear. Really do appreciate it. The devil is out. Nothing goes. Nobody is doing anything good when they're pulling up in the middle of the road, getting out. There's flashlights. It goes to a house. Two people come out. They're doing something around the back of the vehicle. Nothing is coming good from that. And then 2 hours and 40 minutes later, 45 minutes later, there's a child that is missing. Nothing goes good of that. Ever.
Okay. And there has been so much controversy about this. And I actually recently spoke about this on a live very recently. And there was some information that came up that really gave me pause. And I was concerned because it was stated that actually Seth Rogers had come out, and I knew Katie and Chris had come out and said, listen, it's garbage trucks and it's garbage. It's not relevant to the investigation. And then, of course, I already knew what Craddock has said, but we're going to go over it again really quickly. So on the Pascal show on March 29th, Seth Rogers, and you can check it, it's at the 9-minute mark. And I really wanted to thank the account that alerted me to this, which was the account that I was recently on. And I will put a link at the bottom to her channel because she also tries to stay very fact oriented. But essentially, Seth says on the Pascal show, when Pascal specifically tries to nail it down with him, he says, listen, I viewed the whole video, and what everybody is seeing is, like, he describes it as a 5x5 card, a smaller video of that. He also says that the time stayed at, I think it was 3:10 or 3:11, that it was sort of stuck. And so he says, well, it was a malfunction of equipment, right? And that
Yes, and that's exactly. The mob crew pointed out something very important. The flashlight was people because it was pitch dark outside. When they showed the trash truck, if you look at the sky, it is becoming light outside. The people that I have spoken to in the neighborhood, all of the neighbors that I've spoken to, 3 different neighbors, okay? They say it is very clear, and they say it just very similar to how Bobby said it on her when she did the interview with JLR. They said it is very easy to distinguish what is what. The car is sitting right in front of the road, and they, like I said, one gets out, goes to the house, 2 come back. You can tell that they're doing something around the back of the vehicle, and then for just a minute or so, and then the one gets in the car, the one runs toward the house, they back up and leave the neighborhood. Then they say you have to fast forward it quite a bit until you see the trash truck coming by. Very easy to distinguish. A lot of time in between the two. And then after the trash truck goes down the street, what's the street? I can't even think of the street right now. Stafford, sorry. After it does, and it goes to the cul-de-sac, and it comes back and it goes up the hill, then you see just a few little bit later, you see KK leaving. She's gone for a little bit, and then she comes back, and then you see the police coming in. It's very, very easy to distinguish. Yes. Okay, Ella, you want to email me or text me? Okay, that's fine. All right, thank you, dear. You can email me or text me. Either way is fine. Thank you so much, Brenda. Really do appreciate you. If they did not see him on camera, could they have heard him on audio or of a ring camera or vehicle audio? No, no. I highly doubt that. I would highly doubt that. I don't know if they would be able to if they wouldn't be able to confirm it would be him. And really, I think if they could hear him from like a Ring doorbell camera, Brenda, in my opinion, they would be able to see him as well. Vehicle audio, the car would have to be on, generally, unless it's like a Tesla or something. But it only kicks on if you're close to the vehicle. So I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't think so. They've just said that there's nothing. They have no sign Sebastian went anywhere. No scent, not being on camera, nothing. So I mean that's a very good question. But I wouldn't think so, in my opinion, because you wouldn't be able to confirm it would be him, right? With just audio. It's a good question, though. Thank you for that. Jilly, thank you so much. Thank you, Justin, for being so kind of missing me. Rewind a little bit. I'm sure we're a little bit at the beginning. Thank you, my dear. Thank you, sweet Jilly. Really do appreciate you. Aw, Stephanie, thank you so much for gifting 5 pearl necklaces. That's so sweet of you. you receive those pearl necklaces, make sure you give our girl Stephanie a big, big thank you because you've been promoted. You're one of our elite employees.
You have been promoted. You are now one of my elite employees.
Got a feeling love will give us what we lack. The world is waiting up. The world is waiting half a step beyond our door.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. Make sure you thank our girl Stephanie if you received one of those pearl necklaces because your application has been approved. Congratulations. Very, very sweet of you. Yeah, they can post the link for memberships, of course. Thank you.
That is kind of what we're left with from Seth. Then on June 11th, actually, there was Chris comes on solo, and I've also saw Chris and Katie come on about this. But basically, he comes on and he says, "Listen, I want to address the flashlight thing. We've spoken to TBI; they've really analyzed it, and there's nothing here to see, folks. Nothing here to see." Essentially is what he says. You could go ahead and look at that. It's a clip. The best one I liked was the one on June 11th, where he specifically just talks about the flashlight video and basically says TBI says nothing here. I want to talk about what Eric Craddock says. He says this on April 2nd in an interview with Nick Barris. And he specifically says about the flashlight video when Nick hammers it in. No evidentiary value. That's a quote. He says that, and then Nick kind of grills him more on it. Well, wait a minute, no evidentiary value now or ever. And he says, well, we don't know what we don't know. It could play a role at a later time. And he also says, I can't tell you what the lights are. That's specifically what Craddock says. This is
Yes, I can 100% tell you at the bowling alley, it was just KK and Sebastian. That's it. That I seen.
Key to me.
Now, if they are with other people there, I don't know. But what I saw is just the two of them.
I can't tell you what the lights are, but we're trying to say don't look at the lights. Okay. So this is my take on all this. By the way, 310. 310 is the lights that he's referring to. So we have those statements, and this is the bottom line. I needed to get a lot of clarification on some things, and the bottom line is, I'm telling you, in my opinion, those lights are important. Those lights are not garbage lights. They are in two different areas. They're in two different directions. There might be other lights that are garbage lights. As far as the time frame, we're only told briefly that Seth recalls that the timekeeper did not roll in what he saw. Okay. I think Seth, and I've heard this said by other creators too. I think Seth and I think Katie and I think Chris are following the party line.
Mhm.
It's clear to me Craddock was not giving a direct, clear answer. He's
Mhm.
given direct, clear answers before. He gave direct answers about the glasses. He gave a direct written answer about the green hoodie when all of that came out recently.
Right.
He is not giving direct, clear answers about the lights. And furthermore, he's not giving direct and clear answers about whether the parents are cleared.
Correct.
And I understand why. It's an ongoing investigation. And quite frankly, he hasn't cleared Chris and Katie. People can argue he hasn't cleared Seth, and I will also say that he hasn't cleared Seth. But I've seen the information from Seth's work, and he just wasn't there. So I just wanted to.
Thank you so much, Holly, for the Cash App. Really do appreciate that. Thank you, my dear. Just all that. I get it. It is what it is. That's the way I feel too. But
To reiterate that
it's
this
coming.
light video, for when you go to watch it, I wanted to give you the sources to look at in terms of what the parents have said. Chris Proudfoot, again, check out the June, I think it was released, I think it was from earlier. Actually, I think it was the Chronicles of Olivia where he initially talks about it. But June 11th is a nice, concise little blurb from Chris Proudfoot about the lights. And March 29th from Seth on the Pascal show at the 9-minute mark. Those all say that basically the lights aren't relevant. And then Craddock says no evidentiary value, but then he backtracks and says, well, he can't really say, he doesn't know what the lights are. You don't know what you don't know. It could play a role. Okay. When you add those 4 statements up from Craddock,
Janet, I can tell you 100%. 100%. Seth was at work all night long. All night long. If there is anyone that says anything different. Now, like I said, Bobby was fed a lot of misinformation by creators. And the last time I had talked to Bobby was somewhere, I want to say summertime, but it may have been early fall. And she had told me, she said, there was a creator or two that told her that Seth was not at work for like 3 hours. And I said, Bobby, I know he was. And she was like, I don't know, like that. And I said, I think you're getting some really bad information, Bobby. And they, I think there was some creators that recorded her. Now, I don't know if they told her that and then recorded her so they could get her on, saying that or what. But I know that they're one of the creators that was spewing that boohickey told it to me. She said, Justin, Seth wasn't at work for like 2 or 3 hours. And I said, trust me, I know 1000%. If there's anything that I know in this case, anything, it was Seth was at work the entire time. He wasn't out sleeping in any sort of parking garage. He didn't leave the premises, anything like that. So there's that.
that's in my law enforcement experience. He doesn't want to exactly say it's a role, but I think he believes it's a role. And I think that he probably played the same type of discourse, gave the same discourse, I should say, to the.
I mean, let's say this. I mean, Seth, I don't even know why I even continue to speak about it, because it's complete BS that anyone says that he was not at work or couldn't been at work. But regardless, let's say, do you think for a moment that he showed us timestamps, the email chain and all that, that went to his attorney, by the way? And anyway, Do you think he would ever put out a fake timesheet of his work for the public to view? Do you know that is going, if he actually wasn't at work and he put out this fake timesheet, that would bury him later. And that is why, in my opinion, precisely, Edgar does not want to talk about Sunday evening, doesn't want to talk about certain days, and won't put his sheet out of where he was. And did Jennifer say something?
Parents think that we
Hold on.
got it. And then Craddock says no evidentiary value, but then he backtracks and says, well, he can't really say, he doesn't know what the lights are. You don't know what you don't know. It could play a role. Okay. When you add those four statements up from Craddock, that's in my law enforcement experience. He doesn't want to exactly say it's a role, but I think he believes it's a role. And I
I do too. Hobo, thank you so very much. Really do appreciate you. Thank you, my dear. Thank you so much. I would just like you to think that that camera picked up those moving lights across the yard. And of course, they came closer, but it picked them up all the way over there across the yard. The entire night of anything happening after midnight, right? That is the only time we see any sort of activity that comes from that house. That's it. There was any other sort of activity after midnight, we would probably see it. Now, from what I do understand, there is other cameras that have this vehicle on the on camera, like where they pull up. They do have other, but there is no other activity from that home. There's that as well.
think that he probably played the same type of discourse, gave the same discourse, I should say, to the parents, even when he showed them the video. And so basically, there would be sort of a meeting of the minds in terms of what was disseminated to the public. What I don't understand, and believe me, I'm not Monday morning quarterbacking. These cases are so hard. I know they've worked their rear ends off, their tails off. Their commitment to these cases, just like your commitment to
Absolutely.
following Sebastian Rogers.
Absolutely. They have to have something that believes that he was taken, right? That can be, like I said, again, it can be a parent, it can be a step parent, it can be a family member, it can be a friend of the family, or it can be a complete stranger. But in my opinion, at 3 a.m., they were doing something. They were doing something. Kathy B, you're not the only one that said that. I've had Noel, so this is what I will say. on that. Someone did. And this is, listen, I won't say anything for any, like, it's like, so, Melanie, I don't know who this is, but she says, gone, but not forgotten. We're calling hours held at the Bowers Sox funeral home or their crematory. Where's the obituary? May the souls of he or she that rest of the departed, in this case, rest in peace. Amen. Hong says Green Hoodie died in November from what we were told thus far. She lived next to the Proudfoots. I disagree with that. I'm going to tell you that right now. I disagree with that. I disagree with that. I'm not going to agree with something, whether, we might agree with something on a certain case, about maybe what happened to Sebastian, but I disagree. I completely disagree with that. Period. I'm not going to just say, oh, I agree with this because, someone that I, like or speak to says it, whether it's from, you know, our side or their side. I'm not on any team, so there's that. And someone else. So I have no idea if someone has died. I certainly don't think they were next to the feet, that live next to the feet. Um, this Melanie person, again, I have no idea who it is. It is with heavy hearts that we were informed that the Green Hoodie has passed away. SCSO has never able to identify her. That's completely wrong. They only had 10 months. So she was laid to rest surrounded by, sadly, no one. They did identify her after this was put out and it was made, uh, you know, but that is untrue. This is so frustrating, y'all. It's so frustrating. God dang, it's so frustrating that where's the obituary? Well, who says that they died? Just because one person said that they died doesn't mean that they died. And I don't, let me clear this up. I have no idea. This is 100% honesty. I have no idea if the Green Hoodie died or not. What was the second thing? Sumner County did identify the Green Hoodie person. They did speak to them recently. So there's that. And I do not believe that they live beside the Proudfoots. And that's exactly right. If she is not identified, how would they know whether she died or not or she lived? Exactly. I don't understand people. I don't understand. This is a human being. Sebastian is a human being. Whether it's Hong or but whether it's this Melanie person or whatever. It doesn't matter. If it's wrong, it's wrong. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't agree with it. So there's that. Hobo, thank you so very much, my dear. Really appreciate it. I'm not going to I just don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it. I agree, true crime addict. But you know, just because I mean, I disagree with a lot of things. But you know, at the end of the day, we are all you know, responsible for what just ourselves, right? And you know, I'll just say I disagree. I'm not going to be vile or hateful toward Melanie or Hong or anything like that because you know, I like Hong. He works very hard, but I disagree with it. Doesn't mean I don't like whoever, just means that I disagree with it. And uh, like I said, I will not intentionally just say something that I personally don't know or have an opinion about just for it to be put out there. I won't do it. Uh, I won't do it for I won't do it for anyone. Uh, I could not lay my head down at night thinking that, for instance, if I thought Seth was a suspect, like if I didn't know uh, Seth was at work the entire time, if I didn't know he passed these lie detector tests, I would not actively try to like push out this BS to protect him. Or if I was on, if I thought, you know, Chris and Katie, if I thought they didn't have anything to do with it and they showed everything, I wouldn't do it for them either. I wouldn't do it for anybody. And I just think it's horrible what's going on in this case. I think it's horrible.
Rogers, what's happening? Where's he at? All of that commitment, that's their commitment every day that they're out there searching for him.
Thank you, Hobo. Appreciate you.
Through now, they're not searching him more, but they are searching for him through an evidentiary intel method, trying to track down leads and follow him. Again, that's also what Dog the Bounty Hunter and At Night are doing. That's what they're doing. They're taking kind of the scraps, anything that comes in, they're running it down. And I'm so grateful that somebody's running it down because you never know when it's going to be the right tip. Having said all that, though, I'm just surprised if indeed it's what I think and that it is that those lights could be important, that they didn't want to give people a time frame. And this is why this is important. Maybe you go back and you think, oh, wow, I remember as a neighbor getting up at 3:10, like I thought I heard something.
Thank you,
Or,
guys. Thank you.
you know, 3:10, geez, I thought I saw a light out my window. So when you narrow it down for the public now, and again, I know what they said and that the machine was stuck at that time. You have to kind of consider it, but there has been no one say, and I went back and looked, that it was a 2-hour time frame. And that, you know, it was the trash trucks. In terms of, I'm not saying the parents because they definitely said words to that effect. But what was the motivation for that? Anyway,
Hold on,
I'm
what
not
you
saying the parents, because they definitely said words to that effect.
And that's why that's another thank you so much, Angela. I appreciate that. Thank you, Daily. That's why I don't understand Edgar and KK, right? Thank you, Teresa. That's why I don't understand Edgar and KK, because listen, Edgar and KK, they know that there is a car that pulls on the side of, on the corner right there of Stafford and Kellen at about 3:10 in the morning. They know someone gets out in a flashlight and goes in the direction of their house. And they know that another person comes out with them. And then they know that they do something around the back of the vehicle. And they know one person goes running back. So if you know that, the crematorium things, like, I don't even address anymore. It's ridiculous. The crematorium thing, it's ridiculous. The funeral home stuff, it's ridiculous. Just if someone talks about something like that, just say, like, get your tinfoil hat off. But they know that, and yet they say, nothing to see here. Thank you, Royal. If there was, your child was not seen anywhere, there wasn't a sin anywhere, an article of clothing anywhere, and I damn sure tell you that he is not going to walk out of a 5 or 10-mile radius barefooted. He's not going to. Thank you, Angel. He's not going to barefooted. So, thank you, Jazz. But there is a vehicle that shows up, and you're like, nothing to see here? Sorry, you're wrong, Edgar and KK. But I think, in my opinion, Edgar said there is a local anchor that put out a video, and instead of it being about Sebastian, they made it seem like it was us. He never said that. I don't agree with everything Nick Barris says. I'll be the first to tell you. But he never mentioned anybody there. He said law enforcement has said the mere fact that there is someone outside of Sebastian's home is concerning. So it should be concerning. It should be very concerning. And why I know it's concerning for Seth. I know it's concerning for a lot of people at 3:10 in the morning. Thank you, Sheila.
But what was the motivation for that? Anyway, I believe those lights are significant. And I kind of intimated that before, but because I was on a live and a question came up about the mechanism, the recorder not properly working, and that actually it was said that it was 2 hours off, which now we know that is absolutely not true. And I'm here to say that I think those lights could be quite significant. And I challenge each of you on here to look at those lights, make your own assessments. Don't let me tell you, don't let Chris Proudfoot tell you. Don't let Seth tell you. Don't let Nick Ferris tell you.
Don't let anyone tell you. Anyone tell you. There is a vehicle, and there's one person, then there's two, and then they separate. You, I think anyone with respectfully a brain and an IQ over 50 will know that that's not a trash truck. Now, again, just because, well, first of all, law enforcement did not say that that was a trash truck. That never came from law enforcement. That never came from law enforcement. Right? They're not going to say that is a trash truck and later, you know, if that could be, which I do believe that that is something nefarious happening at 3:10 in the morning, they're not going to say that's not a trash truck, or they're not going to say, rather, pardon me, I misspoke. They're not going to say that was a trash truck, and then later on take this, you know, charge someone with whatever, and then go to court, and the the defense pull up saying, well, here, Mr. Mr. Craddock said this was a trash truck. They're not going to say that. That's why they're going to be vague, because number one, it was never, ever supposed to get out anyways. I told you guys how that got out. The person who owns that video sent it to her friend. She's like, look over this with me. Don't send it to anybody. The friend betrayed her. Sent it to Nick. Sent just the light part to Nick, just that part. And then that's when law enforcement said, where did you get that? And he said, Nick said on the video, I can't reveal my sources, because you don't ever tell your sources. If you tell someone, you're not going to say anything, you don't ever say anything. And that's what happened.
Or Craddock tell you, use your common sense, use your eyes and see what you see. I've done it over and over again, and that's what I see. And I think it is significant because
thank you so much, my dear. Thank you so much, Tori. Really do appreciate you. Sorry, Justin, I'm running late. How you doing? In Justin's voice. How you doing? Love hearing you say that. I appreciate you so much, my friend. Thank you, my dear. Really do appreciate you. This is the thing. If you want to find Sebastian, or you want to help find Sebastian, you're going to say the truth. It's just it. Thank you, my dear. I appreciate you noticing that. Thank you. And thank you so much, Nina. Good to see you, honey. Hope you are well. Thank you so much for your support, Tori and Nina. Really do appreciate it.
we know it's 6. He apparently wasn't there for to believe Katie Proudfoot. And now I think we have somewhat of a time frame. Did the neighbor that had that recording really have just a broken time mechanism? Maybe. Or is that what we're being told? Is that what's being filtered to us? And if so, why? Believe me, as a former FBI agent, I am not all about it all trying to, muddle up an investigation, hurt an investigation. In fact, quite the opposite. Spreading the word about Sebastian's face, spreading his name, Sebastian Rogers. The more it proliferates, the more somebody might have seen something or heard something or have something that they know, especially at that time of night. That could be important and helpful. Why they want to keep it more quiet. I have an idea. I'm really not going to say it. I think some of you could put your
Yeah.
FBI agent investigator hats on as to why and who they might try to be protecting. But suffice it to say, I feel very strongly that that light video is indeed purposeful in their investigation, and I think that's why Craddock left it at we don't know what we don't know, and it could play a role. So I'm going to leave it at that. I definitely need to link a couple of creators, and I'll do that at the bottom when I get back, but I'm on the run. As we all know, really the light video, it wasn't.
Um, Justin, is it possible the feet were told it was a trash truck to see they would run with the story? I mean, there's always a possibility. I think that they were showed that that video, and they wanted to check their reaction. Um, I think I think it's a big thing that the 25th and the 26th, there is two moving there's two handshakes, if you will, on the feet's modem. And again, Edgar talks about, well, it was at 1 o'clock. Police don't ask you about something that's happening right in front of them when they are there with you. They only want to know between the hours of midnight, just before midnight, to 6 a.m. That's the only time they are going to question you about when these handshakes took place. There is two handshakes that happened on their modem. And Edgar wants to make you believe that it's at 1:30 in the evening. Why would they? Why would they ask you? Why would they ask you about when it shows the exact time down to the second? They're not going to ask you about 1:30. Crystal, it is, so if you've got Wi-Fi or any sort of uh, data, Bluetooth in your vehicle, it will handshake with a router. The handshake is just a thing. If you walk down the sidewalk, drive down the sidewalk, put your scanning on, your scan button. It's going to show you all of the routers available. All of the routers available. But even whenever you're not scanning, it's still searching. It's always searching. And that, it just lets you know, hey, I'm within the vicinity of you. Just to let you know I'm here. That's what it means. Just let you know I'm here. It doesn't mean it's connected. It's just what we call a handshake. Hi, I'm within the area. If you want to connect with me, then you do the password if it requires a password or not. That's what that's about. No, no, no. There was two that connected. There was 2 that connected with that was in the neighborhood. And one had, I guess, maybe both had connected to the PF's router. Um, I actually don't think a lot of people know about the handshake. I don't think a lot of people know about the handshake. Right? We just think of connecting. We don't think about the handshake. Oh yeah, don't talk about my truck. Don't talk about my truck. I think this will be a case, in my opinion, that will be heavily on data.
Isn't something we were supposed to see. And how much more is there out there
Hold on, what
that
was
we
that?
didn't, we credit
One second.
protecting. But suffice it to say, I feel very strongly that that light video is indeed purposeful in their investigation. And I think that's why Craddock left it at, we don't know what we don't know, and it could play a role. So I'm going to leave it at that. I definitely need to link a couple of creators, and I'll do that at the bottom when I get back, but I'm on the run. As we all know, really the light video, it wasn't something we were supposed to see. And how much more is there out there that we didn't see? Probably a lot. And so at the end of the day, we need to really respect law enforcement and know they have so much more than.
Nick Barris said, he said, could this play a role later on down the way? Craddock could have said, absolutely not. It's nothing to see here, which is what Edgar said that law enforcement said. Just remember that. Edgar said law enforcement has looked at that so many times, it's nothing to see here. Eric Craddock didn't say that. Eric Craddock said it could play a role later on down. And we don't know what we don't know. Now, he could have said, absolutely, there's nothing to see here. And it would have been out. But if they need to use that later, which I believe in my soul that they will use that later. He could have completely said nothing to see here, which is what Edgar said. But he didn't say that. It could play a role later.
We have. But I just wanted to clarify once and for all with the light video. I think it's significant, and I'll leave it there. You guys, thank you all for coming on. I just couldn't wait, even though I have something to get off to. And so sorry for the winter wardrobe,
Yeah,
but
Tim,
it's
I can
cold
show
out
you.
there. And to all of you, thank you. Please, please don't give up hope for finding Sebastian, and don't give up hope that this case will be solved. We cannot have another Summer Wells. We just can't do it. Not for this little boy. All right. Till next time, may justice be served.
Let's give it up for Jennifer Coffindaffer for having some integrity. Absolutely. Okay, now Thank you so much, Tori. Really do appreciate you getting 5 pearl necklaces. That's so sweet of you, my dear. If you received one of those pearl necklaces, make sure you thank our sweet Tori for gifting one of those 5 necklaces because you've been promoted. First, we got to do an application process.
You have been promoted. You are now one of my elite employees.
Thank you so much, Tori, for gifting 5 pearl necklaces. Your applications have been approved. Congratulations, my dear. Thanks to Tori. Yes, you are an elite employee. Yeah, there is a creator out there that, I mean, you can clearly see someone walking. I did some thermal. I need to work on it even more. I wish I had the time uh that I could dedicate like the mob crew. Unfortunately, I I don't because I, you know, have a lot of different responsibilities. But I mean, there is clearly a human here. There's clearly humans in this vicinity. Um, definitely humans with these flashlights. Um, and let me find it. You can clearly see that there is humans here where this is. You can see the head, you can see the neck, you can see the shoulder, you can see the arms, you can see the hand very good right here, and you can see the legs very clearly through here. Here's another one. These are human beings at 3:15 in the morning. Just that kind of shows you if you have a hard time seeing it. It's my little outlining. It's really bad. But you can clearly see head, neck, shoulders, hands. You can see the thumb. You can see the index finger, how it's turned, the legs very clearly. You can. Yeah, I can send it to the mob crew. You certainly can. And let me see here. To me, it looks like in my opinion, the light source is coming from their head, like they have something around their head. And if I can do this, I know that law enforcement can probably do a hell of a lot more. It's very, very clear. Let me see here. Okay. There is a video that I can show you guys. Let me just show you really quick. Bear with me 1 second. And it's the best video that I have seen to date. Just to remind people about what we're looking at here. I might have to go down a little bit. She did an incredible job here. Her name is Brandy. What's her last name? Brandy. 1 second. Is it this one? Nope, it's not that one. Might be this one. Let me see here. That's it, but hold on. It's Brandy Gray. That's what it is. Okay, here it is. Credit goes to Brandy Gray. Y'all need to sub up to her. BRANDYGRAY. I'm going to drop the link in chat here. She has done the best video by far that I have seen, and she does a great job here. Bear with me. Okay. Credit goes to Brandy Gray.
That is looking at Sebastian Rogers' home. I am about to show you what I have found. We are going to enlarge and slow down this video. Sit back and watch. It will surprise you. These big lights could be a garbage truck. I'm not sure, but I think that they are
This was done quite a while ago. That's not a garbage truck either. That's a home.
lights on one of the houses, and I believe they are on the Proudfoot's home, and they are stationary. They do not move. Now, if you pay attention to the rest of the screen, the other two sources of light that you are going to see
I'm going to show you
moving
something here
across
shortly.
the screen. I will enlarge it. I'll slow it down some, but I will point it out to you in just a minute that these are people. That is two people with some kind of light source. Could be a cell phone, could be a flashlight. I don't know, but it is two people with a
Watch
light
that.
source.
Watch that.
And they are walking back towards those big lights.
Watch this person walk. She loops the video, I believe, and it keeps. Watch. See that? It's very easy to see them walking.
Which are right at the Proudfoot's home. J for Justice showed us where those lights are located by using Nick Barris's video and putting a light filter over it. You can go to her channel to see that. But if you pay close attention here and
Watch this right here. It's going to be coming through here.
watch as the
Hold on.
light,
Watch
you
this.
pay close attention here and watch
Look at there. This is where it's coming from. I believe they're headlights, like a headlamp rather, not a flashlight, or not just like a handheld flashlight.
as the light moves across the screen. When it reaches the top of the screen, if you watch in front of those big lights,
You can clearly tell this is not at 5 in the morning. It's should be obvious.
right here in a second, it's about to walk in front of those big lights, and you will then
Now it's over here. See, you're going to watch it go over there.
be able to see that it is a person. You can actually tell it's a person even before then, about midway to the
See,
lights.
you can see the outline right here. Let me take a screenshot of that for later. Okay.
But watch closely, and you're going to see this person walk in front of those big lights right there. Right there. You see?
Oops. Let me just show you.
Of those big lights right there. Right there. You see?
Oh, I pause it, but you can see their head just move right in it.
Pause it. If you need to, you can enlarge your screen and take a look at it. even slow it down on your end and take a look at it. Look right now. There it goes.
It's two people.
It's about to cross in. Okay. Here I'm bringing it to you. Now watch. That is a person right now standing in front of that light source. I have inserted a enlarged still shot of the video where you can actually see that that is a person standing about midway of the screen right now. And I understand that we've been told it's a garbage truck. We've been told it's not relevant, amongst other things. But what I'm telling you is that video doesn't lie. I do have a pretty good background in video and skills with it. And that is.
She did a great job there. She did a great job there. And that just shows you that it's complete garbage. That people are saying that's not at 3 o'clock in the morning. Thank you, War. Thank you so much, my friend. Much love to you, Justin. Thank you for 3 continuous months, my dear. Really do appreciate you. Oh my goodness. Thank you, War. Thank you for gifting 5 pearl necklaces. Make sure y'all drop War's channel. War is amazing. Always on it. Always on it. Really do appreciate you, War, for gifting 5 pearl necklaces. We need to do an application process.
You have been promoted. You are now one of my elite employees. Thank you.
I've got a feeling love will give us what we lack. The world is waiting up. The world is waiting half a step.
Thank you so much, my dear War, for gifting 5 pearl necklaces. We received one of those. Give our War a big thank you, because your application has been approved. Congratulations, my darlings. Brandy does a great job there. Another thing I want to show you about the 3:10 in the morning. Where did that go? Bear with me 1 second. Well, what the hell? Where did that go? Okay. There it is. Okay. Where did it go? Okay. Maybe I'll get it in a second. Oh, thank you, Coco. You little cute little monkey there. So cute. I love monkeys. Just wanted to say you're wonderful. So are you, Coco. You all are wonderful. Every single one of you. Thank you so much, my dear. Really do appreciate you. Thank you so much, my dear. Let's hopefully get to 1,000 thumbs up so we can have a chicken party. Yes, MCE wants a chicken party. I know you want a chicken party too, right? Okay. Look at this. This is from March 14th, 2024. Okay, here is your Facebook exclusive for the following page. As many of you already know, I obtained exclusive security camera video that shows 2 people near Sebastian Rogers' home the night the 15-year-old had disappeared more than 2 weeks ago. The video is from early Monday morning, February 26th at 3:10 a.m. At 3:10 a.m. You hear me now? 3:10 a to the mother chicken M. You understand? You understand? Do you get it, Edgar? Are we on the same page now? Do you get it? Come on, Edgar. Tell us you get it. Old Grandpa Edgar. Old Grandpa Edgar ain't what he used to be. Ain't what he used to be. Sorry. Chicken, you crane. Ukraine. Do you get it, mommy socks? Do you get it? Are we on the same page, Edgar Steen? Do you understand? Okay. So there's that. If you could put all the creators that are truly looking for Sebastian in one room together, Connie, I think if we had the resources that some have, I think we could for sure. The video is from early Monday morning, February 26th at 3:10 a.m. It is believed Sebastian left home barefoot and with a flashlight, sometimes overnight. The video is significant because it shows activity around Sebastian's home the night he vanished. I shared one brief clip yesterday. You basically see two lights, believed to be two people holding small flashlights near Sebastian's home. I've obtained more video, and here I am dropping a longer clip. Many of you will look at it and scratch your head. I did it first, but I will spell it out for you in an exclusive report tonight on News Channel 5 at 6, and I'll post the story here and after it airs. I can tell you authorities are currently working to enhance the video and consider it potentially very important piece of evidence, but it is still early to know for sure. Also, stay tuned. More to come. So, and this is that video. Subject 1, subject 2. Who are these two subjects? What are they doing? Again, 3:10 in the morning. Someone asked for it. There it is. Right? Yes. They doing something. Somebody's doing something there, aren't they? Two subjects from what I understand. You're sleepy? Little Red? Why are you sleepy? Hold on. Let's fix it.
FBI, open up!
Are you still sleepy?
FBI, open up!
Okay. I really did. Yeah, I would say almost my voice is soothing. Really? Thank you. Mm-hmm. And I believe
FBI, open up!
is going to open up for whoever the two of those are that did this to Sebastian, in my opinion. Okay. All right. Now, one second. Debbie says, what? Debbie just gifted a pearl necklace, y'all. Thank you so much, Debbie, for gifting that pearl necklace. If you receive that pearl necklace, make sure you thank our sweet Debbie. because pearls look amazing on you. I don't like my voice, to be honest with you. I'm grateful for it, but I'm not a fan.
We are going to
Oh. Oh, she backs out. This wasn't the one I was looking for. Okay. All right. So here we go. I want to look at another thing here. This was taken, I don't remember when.
Good evening, everyone. Continued to look. There was something of a search and an effort at a manhunt that first day. It was an endangered child alert first issued by the TDI,
Okay.
and then it was the next day on Tuesday that they've made this.
Why is it not pausing? This was taken March 4th, 2024. When I hear my voice, to me, it's like it sounds like cats breeding on a hot tin roof. But nonetheless, I'm grateful I have a voice. Thank you, Lord. But this was taken on a very, very important date. This is the day that Edgar and KK start speaking about Sebastian. No, the ruckus video is nothing more than trees blowing in the wind. It's nothing, in my opinion. Why is it not going big again? I want to show you some certain things about this.
Good evening, everyone. Nick Barris, he was autistic. They said this publicly, but I have sources close to the investigation that tell me that not just today, but prior to today, but today especially, it's the most they hinted to it. They're shifting to where they are looking into whether or not there's evidence of foul play. And that if some of this surfaces and if there are things that come their way.
Listen to this. March 4th, this is when this investigation started. Very important right here.
This publicly, but I have sources close to the investigation that tell me that not just today, but prior to today, but today especially, it's the most they hinted to it. They're shifting to where they are looking into whether or not there's evidence of foul play.
Even before March 4th, privately, they were saying foul play. But especially today, March 4th. That tells you something. Yes. That is when they publicly, right, that they're switching more toward foul play. But even before that, privately, they were speaking about that. Thank you, Karen.
And that if some of this surfaces and if there are things that come their way in the coming days, this will become a criminal investigation. Meaning something bad happened to Sebastian. He was abducted. He's been grabbed. He's been hurt. He's been dumped, something along those lines. But the bottom line and why they come to this conclusion is they can't find a trace of him anywhere, anywhere nearby, which leads to the belief that someone took him from that area. He didn't have a car. He doesn't know how to ride a bus. He didn't have a cell phone with him. He was barefoot, okay? I mean, yes, the possibility exists that he is still out there somewhere, hurt, lost. I don't believe, as they say sometimes, autistic children, when they go out, they get frightened, they find a place to hide. True, I understand that. That can be a tendency.
Okay.
I don't believe that to be the case because after not a week, after 2 or 3 days,
Hold
that
on, what?
autistic child prior to today, but today especially, it's the most they hinted to it. Coming in, grabbed, he's been hurt, he's been dumped, something along those lines. But the bottom line and why they come to this conclusion is they can't find a trace of him anywhere, okay, anywhere nearby, which leads to the belief that someone took him from that area. He didn't have a car. He doesn't know how to ride a bus. He didn't have a cell phone with him. He was barefoot, okay? I mean, yes, the possibility exists that he is still out there somewhere, hurt, lost. I don't believe, as they say sometimes, autistic children, when they go out, they get frightened, they find a place to hide. True, I understand that. That can be a tendency, okay? I don't believe that to be the case because after, not a week, after 2 or 3 days, that autistic child, no matter how scared they are, very likely, are going to be very hungry and they're going to come out looking for something to eat. So
Now, let me tell you something. Law enforcement speak to local trusted reporters off the cuff, not on record, They will say stuff to put out there that they might not want to say out of their own mouth, but they talk to them off the cuff. It happens in every single city in America. It can be to stir the pot. It can be just to say, we're on you. Here's a little subtle thing. Let them say it. We're not going to say it.
So is there a chance that maybe he's hurt somewhere, trapped somewhere, an unusual circumstance where he's fallen into a cave or something? You can't rule that out. Law enforcement's not, and they're not quitting on the search. But to have them say they've backed off is a significant development. I knew this was basically coming 2 or 3 days ago. And I can tell you, law enforcement has been considering, through all the interviews they've done, from the parents to the neighbors to the friends, keeping tabs. You know, whenever
He knew this was coming 3 or 4 days ago. So, as early as March 1st, let's go to 2024. He went missing on the 26th. 1, 2, 3. So about within 3 or 4 days, I think they had a good idea. Something wasn't
a
right.
child, or let me give you an example. If my wife were to disappear tomorrow morning, okay, and I wake up and she's gone, and I call to report it to police, there's no evidence to link me to her disappearance.
I'm so curious about KP-cam. Yep. And it should be recording that morning. And if it wasn't, why? Why would it be recording the night before, but not that morning? That would be...
Listen, let's say I had nothing to do with it. Doesn't matter. That instant law enforcement shows up. I am suspect number 1. Okay.
I found some interesting things today in Smiley's interview about Edgar and KK speaking on the phone. I need to go over that. I might go over
Until
that
they clear
tomorrow.
it. I'm suspect number 1. Now, we'll talk more about the parents who, for the first time, and it took them a while, but for the first time last night and then today, have given some interviews and have spoken out about this. And it's heartfelt, and my heart goes out to them. And we'll talk more about what they said and take some of your questions. But law enforcement has shifted this. What this means now is they will continue with a group doing searches and grid searches, but they're going to go back now and re-interview everyone. They're going to start back at the beginning, and they are going to look in these re-interviews for inconsistencies or changes in stories. And I believe a change somehow has come just within the past couple of days, because you'll know they put out the request asking for the public in that neighborhood
Listen.
to look at their Ring cameras and turn in anything they see, maybe check and see from the evening of Sunday around midnight until 6 o'clock Monday morning. Does your Ring camera show Sebastian walking down the road? Does it show anything? Do you see anything? They've asked for that. Well, yesterday, out of the blue, in a statement, they're now saying, not only that, but we're asking the public to look at their Ring cameras and surveillance for anything they might have spotted up into Sunday afternoon, hours before we believe Sebastian disappeared. And they weren't specific about what they wanted to
That's very important. That part is very important. Now, remember, I told you a while back, I said they came and looked at all the cameras in that neighborhood. And I told you a couple days later, they went back to a specific property that they had not ever taken footage from. And they pulled the video back to Saturday and Sunday. And the two detectives looked at each other. They looked at each other. And when they looked at each other, they took that footage. And I think Nick knows exactly what I'm talking about, or here, in my opinion. Because after he talks about the investigation changing, listen.
see. I did agree. And we'll talk more about what they said and take some of your questions. But law enforcement has shifted this. What this means now is they will continue with a group doing searches and grid searches, but they're going to go back now and re-interview everyone. They're going to start back at the beginning. And they are going to look in these re-interviews for inconsistencies or changes in stories. And I believe a change somehow has come just within the past couple of days, because you'll know they put out the request asking for the public in that neighborhood to look at their Ring cameras.
There we go. He says in the last few days, and then he says, because they've asked for neighbors to put out that Ring cameras, right? They found something on Sunday. Now, Edgar, again, does not want to mention it. That's why Moi is always pushing Sunday afternoon, Edgar. Sunday afternoon, Edgar. Show us where you were, Edgar. Show us where you were. Because he talks about the last few days, and then he talks about Sunday. There's footage. My source in that neighborhood tells me they came there, they looked at each other, and they took the footage. They did not want anything from Monday night, like Sunday night, Sunday evening, like I guess after 9 p.m. or so. They wanted it Sunday afternoon, evening. You sent me something you think it's important. Okay, let me look.
And turn in anything they see, maybe check and see from the evening of Sunday around midnight until 6 o'clock Monday morning. Does your Ring camera show Sebastian walking down the road? Does it show anything? Do you see anything? They've asked for that. Well, yesterday, out of the blue, in a statement, they're now saying, not only that, but we're asking the public to look at their Ring cameras and surveillance for anything they might have spotted up into Sunday afternoon, hours before we believe Sebastian disappeared. And they weren't specific about what they wanted to see. On the other one, they're saying, okay, check your ring cameras. Do you see Sebastian walking down the road in the dark in his pajamas? Okay. Now they're saying, we're asking the public to look and see if they see anything, I assume, that's suspicious and of note from Sunday afternoon when it's daylight. What are they looking for? In part of the interview last night, Sebastian's stepfather, Chris Proudfoot, was asked that question, and apparently he's aware of that request and said he was not at this point at liberty to talk about what that's in reference.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
Just within the past couple of days, because you'll know they put out the request asking for the public in that neighborhood to look at their ring cameras and turn in anything they see, maybe check and see from the evening of Sunday around midnight until 6 o'clock Monday morning. Does your ring camera show Sebastian walking down the road? Does it show anything? Do you see anything? They've asked for that. Well, yesterday, out of the blue, in a statement, they're now saying, not only that, but we're asking the public to look at their ring cameras and surveillance for anything they might have spotted up into Sunday afternoon.
Sunday afternoon. Well, Sunday afternoon, well, we know where Sebastian was all day, right? We know where KK was all day. They did come home briefly on Sunday to put up groceries. Remember how KK looks at Edgar and she says, well, I went to pick up, or we took back my niece or picked up my niece or whatever. And Edgar goes, he looks back in his head. Yeah, like that, right? Remember that? Remember that? The construction site was not open on Sunday. That as well, too. That as well, too. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Now, listen to this.
Hours before we believe Sebastian disappeared.
Exactly. Hours. Now, remember, KK is saying he walked out the door. He walked out the door. I don't know why he walked out the door. There's nothing to suggest he walked out the door. He's not in cameras. He didn't walk out the door. He couldn't have gone out the side doors. So there's that. Oh, thank you, Lydia. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. Come on, Pearls. I could really use a chicken party. Thank you so much, my dear. Very sweet of you. Much love to you, sweet Lydia. Really do appreciate you, my friend. Thank you so very much. All the love to you, my dear. Oh, Veronica, thank you so much. Very generous of you, my dear. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate you. I texted you the other night. Did you get it, Veronica? Thank you so much, my dear. I love you to pieces. Really do appreciate you. Thank you for your support, Veronica. I don't know why he walked out the door. Also can be his bedroom door, in my opinion. He seen Edgar there. Thank you, my dear. Thank you, Veronica. All right. This is very important because this was on the day all of the news changed.
And they weren't specific about what they wanted to see. On the other one, they're saying, okay, check your ring cameras. Do you see Sebastian walking down the road in the dark in his...
Right. He's exactly right. Specifically between midnight and 6 a.m., they're saying, look for Sebastian. Look for Sebastian. Anything out of the ordinary as well, right? But they're giving a specific. On Sunday afternoon, they're not giving a specific. Because, in my opinion, it would be really accusatory, perhaps, or they just don't want. Well, I don't even say accusatory. Scratch that. They just don't want a potential suspect, if you will. You know, they don't want to say that name. So I get it. I get it. I get it.
pajamas. Okay. Now they're saying we're asking the public to look and see if they see anything, I assume, that's suspicious and of note from Sunday afternoon when it's daylight. What are they looking for? In part of the interview last night, Sebastian's stepfather, Chris Proudfoot, was asked that question, and apparently he's aware of that request and said he was not at this point at liberty, Sebastian, Sunday afternoon when it's daylight. What are they looking for? In part of the interview last night, Sebastian's stepfather, Chris Proudfoot, was asked that question, and apparently he's aware of that request and said he was not at this point at liberty to talk about what that's in reference to.
So, and guess what? Edgar is still not at liberty to discuss that. He's not privy to it, you know. Are you, Edgar? Because that you're just not going to show us where you were Sunday evening, were you? Were you, Edgar? Why? Why? Can you not speak about what they're looking for on Sunday evening, Edgar? Notice how Nick goes from Sunday evening, we don't know what they're looking for, to straight to Edgar. His thought pattern, Nick's thought pattern. He goes straight from, we don't know what they're looking for, and then he goes straight to Edgar. Mhm.
As though law enforcement has asked him not to talk about it. And today, law enforcement held a very brief news conference, very brief, and said very little other than the fact that they were shifting now and dialing back the search and going more toward an investigation. There were no questions asked. Had I been there, and I was watching it on streaming, but had I been there, my first question would be, what is it that has you now asking the public to start looking for video earlier in the day? And what
I wish he was there to ask.
What do you
that.
want them to look for? Are we looking for strangers, someone suspicious? We don't know. But somehow,
Oh, Nick, you don't know.
somewhere along that line, a story has changed, which leads me to believe that they're not ruling out the possibility of something being on that video leading them to what happened to Sebastian, something earlier in the day. What's that all about? A lot of things when this happens, as I said, first suspect when someone disappears is someone who's closest to
We'll
them.
get to
My
the
wife
chicken
disappears,
party,
I'm
I
suspect number
promise.
one. It's natural
Guys
that the moment this child
are
disappeared,
amazing.
while they're doing the search and there's no evidence otherwise, Chris Proudfoot and his wife Katie were instantly, if this turned into an
I bring the proof. Let's make this crystal clear. I'm not at liberty to say. Law enforcement has asked me not to say. I'm not pervy. That's a HIPAA violation. All excuses. Robin, you get the comment of the hour. Yeah. Bingo. Exactly. Wendy, thank you. Oops, almost. Thank you so much, my dear, for gifting a pearl necklace. Our rock stars. You received that pearl necklace. Thank our girl Wendy. She just gifted you a pearl necklace. Make sure you enjoy our members only lives and our members only exclusive content. Thank you so much, my dear. 1,000. Bring on the screaming chicken. Okay, we'll do the thing. We'll do it right now, but I'm not finished. I usually do that at the end, but I'll go ahead and do the screaming chickens, but we're not through, so don't go anywhere.
Katie! Christopher! Katie!
Oh,
Suck it now.
oh,
Suck it now. It's time!
oh,
Suck it now.
oh.
Suck it now.
Lord, kumbaya. Oh,
Suck it now.
I like a suki. My curls are extra tight today in this courtroom. God, I look good in peach. This is what Edgar's thinking right now. God, I look good in peach. I know I look good on this camera right now. Oh, damn it. Damn it. What's that bullhorn Betty doing? Stop looking at me, camera. Don't do it. Not gonna happen. Not gonna do it, camera. Where's the pet cat?
Pet cat! Pet cat! You're coming with me!
What?
It's a long trip! I'll need a snack!
Katie! Christopher!
Something that I believe we're pervy to. Something that
He's still pervy.
to. Something that I believe we're pervy to.
Snacks, because he's 15 and snacks.
It's a 20, 23, maybe.
Not possible because that area is not visible in the footage. My ass
Oh,
Suck it now.
clearly debunked the hell out of that.
What did the irritated chicken say?
What you fucking da? I don't fucking know. Yaranna yastara. Anarana.
I might have been a bitch to you this year. I just wanted to say that I'm still gonna be a bitch to you next year. It's New Year's, not new me. Clean slate, what?
Pet cat! You're coming with me!
Katie! Christopher! Katie! Christopher! Katie! Christopher! Oh, Grace! Oh, Grace! Christopher!
and it
To
was
Mr. Proudfoot. To Mr. Proudfoot. To Mr. Proudfoot.
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Proudfoot, what happened?
Thank you all. Thank you all so very much. You guys are literally the best. I am so thankful for each of you. Truly, just that you guys get it to like 1,000 every single night, and that's amazing. I really do thank you. So kudos to each and every one of you. Thank you, Gypsy, for gifting a pearl necklace. Thank you, darling. If you received that pearl necklace, make sure you give our girl Gypsy a big thank you. Very sweet of you, my dear. Luna, we're not done yet, honey. We just did it a little bit early. We're still here for a little bit longer. So,
Investigation, suspects 1 and 2. Now, that doesn't mean, just like with me, that they did anything. It's just they were the closest to the child. They were the last ones to see him. That's why law enforcement, it's a lot of, we don't know. But somehow, somewhere along that line, a story has changed, which leads me to believe that they're not ruling out the possibility of something being on that video leading them to what happened to Sebastian, something earlier in the day. What's that all about? A lot of things when this happens is...
Was there an argument, a fight between Edgar and KK? Speculating, hypotheses, after they got back putting the groceries away? Were they going home and someone was there and someone got in an argument? Did Sebastian and someone get in an argument? And they left and went and had dinner, those two. And then you see later KK taking photos of Sebastian. Again, you will never convince me, Edgar, that she was taking a picture of a plate of food that he had had less than about 4 minutes in front of him and zooming the hell in really, really big. I don't understand that. And to do it so off the cuff. Absolutely. So, and then she is clearly, and Edgar admits that's something that we did get out of him. That is new information in that interview. And yes, law enforcement knows who she was texting, and yes, it was me. He says he was showing me that Sebastian ate all of his food. How? There was still all kinds of food on his plate at that point, number one. And number two, you said he eats like a bottomless pit. Again, your words. What would be so what would make that different, right? If he always ate like a bottomless pit, then that's, if he didn't eat a lot and he ate a lot that day, I could understand. He'd be great. But that's not what we see here. I'm going to look at your text message right
As I
now.
said, first suspect when someone disappears is someone who's closest to them. My wife disappears, I'm suspect number one. It's natural that the moment this child disappeared, while they're doing the search and there's no evidence otherwise, Chris Proudfoot and his wife Katie were instantly, if this turned into an investigation, suspects 1 and 2. Now that doesn't mean, just like with me, that they did anything. It's just they were the closest to the child. They were the last ones to see him. That's why law enforcement immediately starts looking and vetting them first and foremost. What I can tell you is that in one of the interviews, Chris Proudfoot said that they've been vetted, they've been questioned, they've been talked to, and they've been cleared. Now, that's what he said, okay? What I know law enforcement has said, the parents have fully cooperated to this point.
Tar wants me to show this picture. It's very funny. This is the cat. This is her cat. And this is her eyes got big when I played it. She's like, what the hell is that? Yes, it can. It can be. And it wouldn't surprise me. It's so cute. She was watching me. Her eyes like, what the hell? What the hell happened? You guys know that voice, that clip. What the dog doing? What the dog doing?
And they seem
again.
this child disappeared. While they're doing the search and there's no evidence otherwise, Chris Proudfoot and his wife Katie were instantly, if this turned into an investigation, suspects 1 and 2.
That's very interesting how Nick says right there, Chris and Katie instantly suspect number 1 and 2. Well, Chris says he wasn't home. But Edgar Steen says he wasn't home. So why would he be suspect 1? Now, I personally believe Edgar was home. But that's just me. Robin, thank you so very much, my dear, for 1 month. Really do appreciate you, my love. Good to see you. Hope you are well, Robin. All the blessings to you and yours, my friend. Good to see you. Hello, Monique. Good to see you. Yeah, I haven't seen an alibi. I've heard him say, law enforcement knew where I was. But just because you say it and you haven't brought the receipts like Seth has, well, then I don't believe you.
Now, that doesn't mean, just like with me, that they did anything. It's just they were the closest to the child. They were the last ones to see him. That's why law enforcement immediately.
They were the last ones to see him? They were the last ones to see him.
Starts looking and vetting them first and foremost. What I can tell you is that in one of the interviews, Chris Proudfoot said that they've been vetted.
No, baby kisses, honey. We're going to keep you in our prayers. You take care of yourself and make sure you let us know.
They've been questioned, they've been talked to, and they've been cleared. Now, that's what he said. Okay.
Hold on,
what I know, Lon Proudfoot and
what?
his wife Katie were instantly, if this turned into an investigation, suspects 1 and 2. Now, that doesn't mean, just like with me, that they did anything. It's just they were the closest to the child. They were the last ones to see him. That's why law enforcement immediately starts looking and vetting them first and foremost. What I can tell you is that in one of the interviews, Chris Proudfoot said that they've been vetted, they've been questioned, they've been talked to, and they've been cleared. Now, that's what he said. Okay. What I know law enforcement has said, the parents have fully cooperated to this point, and they seem very heartfelt and devastated by the loss of their son and stepson.
Why is that edited? Why was that part edited? That's what Chris says, but I can tell you what law enforcement has said. Cuts.
I know in one of the last ones to see him, that's why law enforcement immediately starts looking and vetting them first and foremost. What I can tell you is that in one of the interviews, Chris Proudfoot said that they've been vetted, they've been questioned, they've been talked to, and they've been cleared. Now, that's what he said. Okay. What I know law enforcement has said, the parents have fully cooperated to this point, and they seem very heartfelt and devastated by the loss of their son and stepson. So there's no reason to believe otherwise. But law enforcement has not cleared anyone. They have not publicly said that the parents are cleared or the neighbors cleared or anyone's cleared.
So why would Edgar say that all 3 of them has been cleared when that's not the case?
Okay, they're not clearing anyone, and I guarantee you at this stage everyone remains a possibility. Okay, so yeah, the parents may say that they've been cleared and vetted. Until I hear that from law enforcement that they've been cleared, I'm going to say they're like anyone else.
Exactly.
They're cooperating, and that's a good thing, but that does not mean they've been cleared, just as no one else has necessarily been cleared.
Correct.
So that's where we stand. It's been a week. I just wanted to kind of put some of that out there. What I want to do is give you all a chance to.
Also, cooperation does not mean they can ask you to take a lie detector test. And you can decline because it is your right to decline. And they can't hold that against you. That would still be cooperating, right? There's a lot, and you would still be cooperating because of your constitutional rights. And you would still be cooperating. You don't have to do everything that they ask you to. So there's that as well. Thank you, Robin, Remy, Snap. Thank you, my dear. Really do appreciate you. Thank you so much, my love. Good to see you. Sorry, Cassie, I missed that. Thank you, my dear. Can CPS still do an investigation with Sebastian missing? I need to ask my girlfriend that. That's a good question. That's a very good question. I don't know. I don't know about that. That's a very good question. Can they still continue? I mean, I don't know if the child is not. Well, I guess they can, because once a child goes missing, law enforcement has to notify the CPS, DHS, and then from there on out, they can open one or not. So I guess yes. What's people writing Karen question mark? What did Karen say? Oh, she said Seth acts the strangest to her. Not to me, not by far. He's showed those time slips. He can talk about Sunday. He can speak about every day of the month. And there wasn't, 5 CPS cases in 18 months. And I listened to, my own logic and what I investigate, but I listen to all of the professionals as well.
Answer as many questions or ask as many questions. I'll do my best to answer them for you. But I want to be clear on this. It's not fair to say, well, and I know many of you will have theories and, oh, well, the parents this, the parents that. Keep in mind, I mean,
let me tell you something. Once this is over, I'll be able to speak on it. But, they want to call Seth really, really atrocious things about saying that he was with KK prior to her being 18 and all of that. Edgar. Let me tell you. I won't put it out now. But you should be ashamed. You should be ashamed. There's been a lot of stuff happen with you, hasn't there, Edgar? Multiple times, hasn't there, Edgar? Shame on you. And once it's all said and done,
assuming, as we should at this point, that the parents had nothing to do with it. Calling them out now and saying, well, they must have known something, that has to be devastating. They're already hurting because of the loss of the stepson. And now to be called as suspects by people who are just basing that on hunches without evidence, that's not fair. Trust me, I've covered plenty of these cases where children disappear and it comes back, and darn right, the parent who was originally grieving turns out to have been the perpetrator. Okay, that happens more often than not, but that's no indication of this now. And as in all of these cases, you have to wait and be fair and see where the evidence leads you. And law enforcement will fill us in. I do think one reason law enforcement really, in my opinion, has not been more forthcoming with more information. I mean, except for what we've heard from some of the parents about how they woke up and the mom found that he was gone, they haven't gone into a lot of detail about some of the circumstances and how and where. They've kept things very close to the vest, in my opinion, maybe for very good reason. But there's a lot of questions to be answered that we don't know at this point. So one other thing I wanted to mention, you know that Sebastian also has a biological father who is a sheriff's deputy with the Davidson County Sheriff's Department. Sheriff Darren Hall actually told me that earlier this week, or last week rather, him about the possibility of an interview. He's declined. I did initially I've talked to Chris Proudfoot on the phone last week, reached out to him and Katie. They finally came around and started talking this week. A lot of people were wondering, why aren't you talking? Why aren't you? You might want to try to read into that. I don't. My take is they were shocked and they're busy with law enforcement and everyone.
Robin, thank you. Truck, mama, stop. Truck, mama, stop. Truck, mama, stop. That's funny. Thank you, my dear. Really do appreciate it.
Everyone reacts differently to something like this, but I can guarantee you this. Whenever anyone close to Sebastian talks or gives interviews, law enforcement is paying attention. They're vetting it, they're listening to it, and they're going to see if any of what is said contradicts what they've said in interviews.
I'm going to more.
And I know for a fact from Chris, who told me himself, that the TBI has already been back and interviewed both him and his wife separately. That was last week. And that's standard procedure. That doesn't mean they're suspects. They're just going to interview the people closest to the boy, and they're going to be doing this with other people as well.
In my opinion, I don't believe Edgar and KK are speaking to law enforcement anymore. I don't believe so, no.
Well, but now that it's shifted to this stage of looking at it as possibility of foul play, it's a different ballgame, and it's a different form of investigation at this point moving forward. It's going to be very interesting to see what develops in the days to come. I think we all hope that this boy is found safe and sound. But after this much time, if he's been out there alone or has fallen into a cave or is locked somewhere, potentially without food or water, I mean, that's a scary thought. What are the odds of him being alive now? We all want to have hope, but was he abducted by someone? Could he be being held somewhere? Sure, that's a possibility. Will they be looking online? Will they be checking in this neighborhood? There's his wife who called him and said, I got up and he's not. Why did he leave barefoot? I don't know. But yeah, the stepdad, and when we say apparently the stepdad, Kayla says, was out of town that day, all we know is that he wasn't there at least that evening when they were talking. And so unless I missed it, I don't have a good feel for the timetable of when he left and when he came back. But he was on the phone, and it was his wife who called him and said, I got up and he's not here, and what the heck, and what do I do? And they called the sheriff's department. Okay, they did the right thing. They did that. So I'm not clear on where the stepdad was and for how long and when he left, and if there's security video confirming that he shows he left and all that. All that's being vetted. Another thing that'll be interesting, some people have asked me, could the parents be asked to take a lie detector test, or could anyone else be asked to take a lie detector test? Yeah, they could be asked. They can't force them to do it. And you have to keep in mind, the results of lie detector tests are not admissible in court. I think they could be a helpful tool in interrogations if the family is willing to do it. And if they're innocent and they do it and they're cleared, it's another chip in their favor. The other part of this, and I have not heard one way or the other, but I do not believe yet the family, stepfather and mother have hired an attorney. I don't believe they have. But in fairness, and I want to hit this too, I mentioned the scenario where if my wife disappeared tomorrow and I had nothing to do with it, I'm going to admissible in court. I think they could be a helpful tool in interrogations if the family is willing to do it. And if they're innocent and they do it and they're cleared, it's another chip in their favor. The other part of this, and I have not heard one way or the other, but I do not believe yet the family, stepfather and mother have hired an attorney.
They had.
I don't believe they have. But in fairness, and I want to hit this too, I mentioned the scenario where if my wife disappeared tomorrow and I had nothing to do with it, I'm going to report it. I'm instantly suspect number one, and they're vetting me. That next day, I'd be hiring a lawyer. And I would just want the lawyer there, and I'd explain it to law enforcement. I will answer all your questions, and I will be completely cooperative. But I have an attorney here by my side to make sure this doesn't get out of hand. Okay.
Where did you send it, Mary?
And so the mere fact, if they do hire a lawyer, is not like, oh, they're lawyering up, they must be guilty. That's not fair either. That's being smart. It's being smart, because I've seen cases sometimes where things spiral out of control, and all of a sudden, maybe because you misspeak or something like that, you get considered a prime suspect when you really aren't. Good idea to have a lawyer there by your side just in case. So keep in mind, hiring a lawyer is not an indication that these, or if the outside was locked and you could open it from the inside and he walked out, but he said that the door was typically locked. Someone saying here, this sounds like Joe Clyde Daniels. I knew that would come up. And the similarities here are that the two missing are autistic. Joe Clyde was 5 years old. His body still to this day has never been found. His father eventually confessed to killing him and is serving life in prison. I guess we know because Joe Clyde Daniels' father confessed.
1 second.
Yeah, a lot of prayers, a lot of hopes that he's. Who is saying your comment? I don't know if she's commenting to me, parents, so he must have done something. That's not fair. And by the way, I've seen more than my share of stories where biological parents do horrible things to their kids.
Absolutely.
It has nothing to do with whether you're a step parent or a biological parent. It has to do whether or not you're a crumb bum, someone who would hurt a child. Let's see. Very strict and allowed no social media in the house, because a lot of the questions are, who do you think he could have had contact with that would have lured him out? And they said they're at a loss. I mean, they're befuddled as anyone else, as they say, we don't know who he had contact with or convict them. And I guarantee you, law enforcement has them and are questioning him and they're cooperating. But here's the immense amount of pressure on law enforcement and the responders out there looking for the child. They want so desperately to find him. Every passing day, they know the chances get more slim that the child will still be alive. And they want something, anything to break and open up the case. And so there is a ton of pressure right now on law enforcement. So they're not messing around. I mean, if they think they have something, and I'll tell you this, the moment they think they have a suspect, okay, whoever it may be, they're going to call them out if they can.
No, they won't, Nick.
And they're going to put pressure on them, and they're going to start.
I have never seen Tennessee ever call out a suspect like that. Never seen it. Instantly. Never seen it. Not with the missing child's case. They just arrest. Hi, are red tactical lights considered flashlights? Red tactical lights. This may sound like a dumb question, but are they red? Is the lights red, Miss Keto? Because these lights weren't red.
Start questioning them, You're going to get the death penalty. Child, death penalties on the table.
I want to show you something here.
A lot of you paid close attention to. Yeah, they can look at phone records. As far as I know, at least in Middle Tennessee, only 2 sheriff's departments have it, Putnam County and Williamson County, where parents can go and register and get GPS tags, bracelets. Kind of cheap. You can get that. Yeah, people. And there's a Sebastian, would visit her father, Chris, and then Chris, she kind of went between the father and mother. So there's that. And there's a lot flying around there about what kind of details about why is there a dispute? Why does he have custody? Not fair to judge that question at all. Mom, or who is it that knew that he went out on the road, or was that an assumption? If she went to bed that night thinking and knowing he was in bed, and she gets up the next morning, goes to the bedroom, finds he's not there, runs around and starts looking for him, the report is that he went out through the front door, a locked front door, and into the yard. I'm guessing that's the assumption, right? Because she was asleep. She wasn't there when he left. She didn't see him leave, obviously. How do we know that? How do we even know that he went out the front door and went down the road? I guess that's a fair question. I think that's kind of the narrative.
Yeah.
One way or the other, we understand he left the house, and maybe we think he went through the front door. But I guess when you think about it, we don't know that. The only people in the house that night were the mother, Katie, and Sebastian. Chris, as we've heard, was not home at least until maybe the next day. I don't know. I don't have all the details on his time, but he was not there. She called him the next morning to say that Sebastian wasn't there, and they reported it. So I guess we don't really know. That's a good question. How do we know he went out the front door? How do we know he ended up in the road? Maybe that's just being assumed. That's a great question. See, that's where you kind of get ahead of yourself, and all of a sudden you're like, good question, Becky. Let's see, what else do we have here? And I respect that to a point. So much of this, I would love to be able to ask more questions of law enforcement, but they've pretty much not taken them. And I respect that to a point, okay? I understand that there are certain parts of the investigation that definitely have to remain confidential so as not to jeopardize, any effort to find the boy. I understand that. But I also think answering some questions and providing more information to the public is important, not only to keep it current, but to maybe put information out there that can help people think about this and move forward with it. But they've been very, very stational.
Isn't it up here?
By the book and the area, or they would have found him, unless he somehow accidentally locked himself in someone's shed that they haven't checked. That's the natural. Law enforcement has not said that. Law enforcement has not even said foul play. Law enforcement publicly has said we're shifting.
Publicly.
We're still searching, but we're shifting to an investigation. Just that. All right. My sources tell me this is now a criminal investigation. They haven't given up the chance of him being out there on his own and finding him. They're going to keep looking. But yeah, they say investigation. I'll tell you, it's a criminal investigation now. It's criminal.
There you go. Right there. March 4th.
Let's see, what else do we have here? All right, my sources tell me foul play. Law enforcement publicly has said we're still searching, but we're shifting to an investigation. Just that. All right, my sources tell me this is now a criminal investigation. They haven't given up the chance of him being out there on his own and finding him. They're going to keep looking. But yeah, they say investigation. I'll tell you, it's a criminal investigation now. It's criminal.
Do you think he would bluntly say that if he wasn't 100% sure? This video is from March 4th.
Let's see, what else do we have here? I think that's about it. I don't want to be redundant and bore you, but I see we had at one point more than 3,000 people following this. And again, I'm sure many of you from all around the country, and gosh, I really appreciate you being a part of this. If you have questions, message me here on my Facebook page. I do my best to get back to you. This page has about 250,000 Facebook followers all around the world, most of them, of course, here in the South. But please share my page. Share my page. The more people that can be out there sharing the page, the better. Share this story. Keep the word out there. Keep your eye out if you live in the area. Check your Ring cameras. And I know all the citizens in that neighborhood have done a fantastic job. Everyone wants this child found. Everyone's playing their part. Do continue to message me with questions. Follow me on this. And
Mary, I got it. Thank you so much. Brianna, no. I addressed this a little bit earlier. There's nothing that I have seen about the green hoodie passing away. So there is no confirmation of that. And I respectfully disagree with Hung, who said that they believe that it is a neighbor of Edgar's and KK's. I don't think that, I don't personally agree with that either. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you. Okay, what's your question, Rachel? Art Taylor, Justin, please walk me through how to set up a fundraiser, please. Thank you. Of course, yeah. Just message me, babe. Message me. Thank you. You don't have to do that. Thank you, my dear. I can show you how to do it. You've been going through a lot. No. Mm-mm. No. I don't know what time they're saying the Uber person was. It was on a street over. No. The flashlight with the car is at 3:10 a.m. 3:10 a.m. And I just, if you go back, I show it where Nick Barris says it. It's clearly when it is. So, but I talked a lot about it in this stream previously, my dear. Yeah, earlier on in the stream. Nick is the one that his dad called him Nick and did an interview with him. Yeah. Yep. That was another Hong post. I don't know. Tried to convince the world his 5-year-old son walked out the front door. I said, yeah. And there was car lights with that too. Yeah, we're going to go over that tomorrow, Carol. Justin, show my text message Remy Pearl when she's older. I don't know what you mean, show my text message. I don't know what you mean, honey. Oh, love you too, Kay. Thank you so very much for 7 months. Really do appreciate you. I don't know what you mean, show my thing to Pearl when she's older. I don't understand that. Oh, it has. I'm getting maybe an important message. 1 second. Oh, interesting. Interesting. I just got a letter or a text from a source that is watching right now. And the picture, look at me, Edgar. Look at me, KK, because this is a really good source that you, you would be so surprised. Why KK may have taken a picture of allegedly the plate, if it is a plate, that Sebastian was only allowed to order certain things from the menu. And that is why let me make sure I got this right. He wasn't allowed to order the food, and he was only allowed certain things on the menu. And that is the reason Mom sent the picture to Edgar. And that comes from a good source. A very good source. Just you could see he loved fish. Yes. Well, I have told you guys this. Another source who has came to me says that KK had to buy majority of the groceries for Sebastian. Allegedly had to buy, especially like the non essentials, non-essentials. Yeah. It was. Yep. Yep. Mhm. Yeah, like the snacks and stuff like that. And if Sebastian got into Edgar's snacks for his work or whatever, that's when it was hell to pay. I'm just telling you guys, I wish I could say everything I knew. I can't, because if I do say certain things, they're going to know where it comes from. So there's certain things I can't say. It was really, really bad. Really, really bad. The control, the amount of alleged screaming Again, I have not been able to confirm this. I've just had 3 people send this to me. Again, I'm not saying I agree with this, but I'm just showing this to you. Oh, I blame KP, absolutely. Hold on, let me do it like this. February 23rd, 2024. He says, Hong says, Danny, Guy, can you talk about this project? The Eye of Justice caught something shady, bro. I have no idea. Always late. You know something? There's things that happened. Can't say. I can't say it. But I'm just saying it's really bad. It's really bad. I don't know what it is. I'm surprised there hasn't been jail for things long before Sebastian. Thank you so much, Kay. Love you, Justin, and the wonderful pearls. Thank you so much, my dear. That is zoomed in. I am working some things right now. I've got a lot of research to do. I'm going to try to get some done tonight before I go to bed. Backyard front of drain. I don't know. I don't think that whatever happened, I don't think it happened at the Bauerfoot's house. I don't believe that personally. Why has the other exes not spoken out? Just curious. I think after Nina and the way she was treated, they're not going to speak. They're not going to speak out publicly to many people because it's really bad. Yeah, there's some really bad things. Do you think the dog's barking, growling held bearing? What do you mean, Rachel? The Morkies? I can tell you that there has been family that has bailed his ass out many times. Thank you, Hey Jude. Thank you for the Remy snacks. It is, Debbie. Thank you, my dear. Hey, Jude. All right, guys. There's another one too, though, or there's another one. Hammer rumor. What do you mean the hammer? Hammer rumor. I don't know what you mean by that, my dear. No, Art Taylor, she can't. I got you. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna watch Mob. I'll watch him. I don't know what he said about a hammer. I don't know. Any married sisters? I don't know. But Edgar has secrets. He does. Have you ever reviewed the phone call from TBS coworker Matt on J for J? He's been on my channel. I've spoken to him publicly and privately. Yeah. There is, Tina. There really is. A lot. Thank you all. Thank you guys. Really do appreciate you. Great. Yeah. Yep. He called in and spoke to me publicly, spoke to him privately as well. Yep, Joanne, we're probably gonna go over some of that tomorrow as well. Yeah. All right, guys. Love you all. Appreciate you. Thank you, Brianna. Thank you all. Appreciate you. I will see you, Lord willing, tomorrow. God bless each and every single one of you. Justice for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Justice for Michael Joseph Vaughn. And justice for Summer Moon Utah Wells. And all of the missing out there and their families. God bless. Good night.